Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with a continuation of our Thoram introductory run. Just a couple of things that I want to go over before we start. Obviously, the only cards that we have left to talk about with Thoram is his ultimates, and then a couple of other things that I want to wedge in there that I may or may not have missed at some point while discussing things. Go ahead, go into here. The first thing I want to discuss is that when I was talking about his purples, right, his epics, I was repeatedly saying that, this is like super reliant on X, Y, or Z, right? That's generally what starts to happen when you get up to your purples and your legendaries, is they're not necessarily like great unless you fulfill their condition. There's obviously some like examples where that's not the case, or the condition that needs to be fulfilled isn't really that big of a deal, like say Tara's Arrow Rain, I believe it's called. That one just needs arrows in your hand, and most of your good cards are arrows, so it just kind of happens. But with Thoram, it's keeping your minions alive as far as assisted strike and battle horn, and as I mentioned, you may or may not have issues doing that. So that would be when these come up, you start to think about, okay, are we keeping minions alive? Is this team doing that well? Do I have either items or artifacts to help keep my minions alive? Otherwise, these honestly may not be worth the uh, the investment in your deck. But because it's Arcanium, there's no like penalty to holding them in your backpack. So if they're still like the best option, you can go ahead and grab them. Another reason why I like grabbing purples, especially now, is obviously if you really don't need them, you can always hit up an Oracle and up tier them into a legendary, which could potentially be very potent. Another thing that I don't think that I mentioned when I was talking about them specifically, mainly because they were in two different instances, right? We got a common, a rare, and an epic, like shuffle card, if you will. One thing that isn't necessarily apparent with these is that they have a great synergy with some of Carrion's cards. Now I'm going to get to this. It's also good with hypothermia because that counts the cards in your deck, and by using those, you're able to get a much larger deck than you normally would. You can go ahead and you can just go ahead. You can go ahead and just discard them for effects, but most notably, if you can get away with it, it is a very good way. Where are you? There we go. Unholy Blast. It allows you to stack much more cards in your deck than you normally would. So if you can find a way to Angorn shuffle, or again just discard cards because you're using Skeleton Warrior, you don't generally use your whole hand anyways. Unholy Swings, start putting them into your discard. You can get a much larger discard than normal, and this card is already insane. So being able to have a deck of like 15, 20 cards, and then like maybe when you get this, you have let's see, 18 cards in your discard, and this can of course be comboed with I'll find these things eventually. Unearth, so that you're able to go ahead and just pull that up out of your discard, use it maybe 1 or 2 times in a turn for 18 AoE for 1 cost. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. So that's another thing that you might want to take a look at. Otherwise, most characters don't have like deck scaling mechanics, but I also mentioned hypo earlier. Hypothermia. 3 damage per card in your draw pile. So, if you have a large deck, you get this turn 1, or you wait for it to roll through your deck, Thoram, as is the case in our setup, is just throwing tons of cards in there, you can get this to pop off and be pretty good too. And he also just so happens to be blue, so he could use it on himself, and that's how you can get Thoram to do some decent damage. Upgrades just as a +1, not necessarily like a big get, but it's still more damage, right? Alright, going back to Thoram. So now we're going to take a look at his legendaries. We have Anvil Smash, which is deal 14 and then stun. This is melee for 2, so again, we're going to go right back over to Aurora because I believe she is only one with a stun available. That's Concussive Blast, 3 cost. Consumes 5 burn to stun, so it's not even like the primary focus of the card itself. And then of course Pyroblast does as well, but it's kind of hard to compare a ultimate that's always available whenever you need it to a card. So it does about the same damage. It just has the disadvantage of being melee, but doesn't require burn on the target. If we're considering that the other stun is of rate, right? It's the appropriate cost per AP for a legendary, and stun is taking out the appropriate amount of damage, then we can consider that this is relatively good as well. It's also another stun, so pretty good. Fortified Plating, cost 2, retains, which is good. Give a minion +0, +24. Now, obviously, this is how you keep your minions alive for his other purples that we were talking about earlier. It scales into Assisted Strike because that's 24 damage so long as the enemy's alive. It's significantly better than Enhance. Obviously, Enhance gives damage, but... So just go ahead and we'll go back to the comparison to Ragnarok's Warcry. Again, not exactly a fair comparison due to the fact that characters are considerably different, but again, we've been doing this the whole time because it's good to show exactly what one character might have over another. Fortified Plating costs 2 and gives 24 stats. 2 copies of Warcry would give 6, and 6 is 12. So this is double as effective, but of course it's a legendary, and that's sort of like how those work. Is when they buffed legendaries last patch? Yeah, this patch. What they did was, for the most part, they either reduced the cost by 1, therefore like hugely ramping up its effectiveness as far as the AP2 effect, or they buffed the effect by like another 50% or something like that. Sometimes both in some cases. So this is obviously incredibly good if you have any semblance of minions going on, because this is pretty much 24 block that works with Thoram's kit as far as everything else that he's trying to do. He's got lots of minions that pulse and have effects. He's got minions that, or he can utilize minions to deal damage with Assisted Strike. You can turn them into shields. Very interesting. And of course, he can later just go ahead and buff them up. What does this upgrade to? It upgrades 50%. I mean, it's a legendary, but god damn. That's very good. I mean, just compare it to Enhance, which is a blue, right? I don't think I need to say any more there. 3, Furnace. Your minions apply 2 burn forward per health that they have, up to 12 health, and then destroy all minions. This, again, is pretty good, because of the fact that Thoram's minions don't really do damage themselves. They're not very good at it. So, if you wanted to pay this out into a burn, either for applications with Fiery Wand's burn on crits, maybe Aurora's spending that burn, for whatever purpose. Maybe you're, well, you can't really use Dancing Embers because the minions are dead. Maybe you're proccing something off of minion death, which a number of people have, especially if you're playing alongside Carrion. So, and then of course, like, you've got burn on enemies, right? 2 burn per health, that probably upgrades to 3 up to 15. Holy shit. So you're getting 24 burnout, which is 24 damage, at least for that turn. That's good enough by itself. I mean, it's pretty damn good, considering that you might not always get that. Actually, that's kind of hard to believe. Even his like little shitty minions are 8, and they upgrade to 12. So chances are, unless they've taken damage, you're going to be able to utilize this. Headed over to Sigil of Cirrus. Enchant 2, summon a Spirit of Cirrus in your lane immediately and at the start of each turn. So it promotes. That's ridiculous. And it's just a 15 health. Oh wait, hold up. This is his ultimate. That's his ultimate? That's pretty damn good. Anyways, Forge Golem. Pulse, give 2 Fury to the hero behind. Does that upgrade to 3? It does? Oh my god. And then it goes up to 30 health. That's insane. So, in a sense, this is a 3-cost Call of the Mountain that's focused on one person. You get 20 shield, essentially, right? It'll do 5 damage at the end of the turn, and then every turn that it stays alive, it's going to give 2 Fury to the hero behind it. This is incredible for ulti spamming engines. I could see this, I mean, it doesn't really matter which person you're doing it with, right? You're trying to ulti spam. This is an extra 2 AP basically every turn. So even if your character has a 10 cost ultimate and 4 AP, but you'd even be able to do it with 3 AP. If for whatever reason you have 3 AP and you have a 10 cost ultimate, you'd be able to use it every 2 turns so long as this minion is kept alive. Go ahead, go up to this, and you could almost swing it every other turn with 4 AP. And that's at 10 cost ultimate. Obviously, if you bring the ultimate down, it's a 9 cost ultimate. Maybe you've got the -1 cost. You're going to be able to spam that much more. On top of the fact that Thoram's also very good at helping you spam ultimates. If you're the lowest health hero, he's going to spam resolves into your deck, which gives you AP and draw so that you can afford to spend more AP. He's got Call of the Mountain. Like, I think that he helps facilitate ulti spamming better than Angorn, but it's also kind of hard to say that when Angorn also gives haste, so that some characters are able to play more cards than they normally would. And that's it. So all in all, I'm very impressed with his legendaries. It's just obviously the case of, like, if you can't keep minions alive, right? Obviously Furnace isn't really that good. But his legendaries actually seem they're just plain good. I don't know how else to say it. Obviously, Anvil Smash is pretty shit once you get to the boss rush because you can't stun the boss itself, but he might be able to handle the side lane, being able to stun something once every 2 or 3 turns, depending on how big your deck is, and that could help considerably. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Next video, we're going to go into his heirlooms and his ultimates, and maybe some artifacts that he might be looking for. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, I know I was desperately trying to get to a shard battle. I wasn't quite going to be able to get to this right here, due to just how we're situated. We've got Lady and Thoram a little bit damaged. Doesn't really matter that much because I'm pretty sure that the map HP bug is still present here, and these guys are actually looking a little bit healthier than they look. But we're going to have to go ahead and take a Shard Boss and Scorched Lands if we want that scaling, because I don't think that we can really get away with just going ahead and fighting these guys here, right? Fighting them at threat 10 and 11, where they go ahead and scale up. Not quite keen on that. Go ahead and make sure about where our decks are here. Thoram is using double armor crafting and weapon crafting in order to buff up others. And I believe... Hold up. I distinctly remember wanting to get rid of Searing Blow for a Hammer Strike. There we go. Just to bring the cost of his deck down. Lazar looks like he's just doing Lazar things. However, we did get Cloth Shoulders and Broadsword on him, so he's able to chunk quite a bit, and he doesn't really care about the fact that his ultimate is stacking more hemorrhage on him, because Cloth Shoulders pretty much, it almost solves that problem entirely. Lady is ulti plus on the multi-strike ulti, I believe, and she's just, she's got Woolen Boots and Spine Blade, huh? Got combo on Sprint, got combo on Valiant Strike, so both of these are actually quite good for our win condition here. That helps a lot. Yeah, this is looking pretty good too. The question is are we actually looking good for a Shard Boss? Okay, we got the usual bug where it unequips our grenade when we have two of them. The Dispel will be useful, but I'm open to be surprised. Can't really look at the province details because we're not in Scorched Lands at the moment, so we'll just go ahead and go in there. It is Farseer Narzan, or Zoran. Why do I keep calling you Narzan? This is kind of spookums, because we're gonna have to face race this guy and he gives us Hex when damaged. So we're supposed to, like, try to one-shot him. I don't think we Giganticism this man. We have access to no cleanse. The fact that he changed from putting Hex for the first hit every turn to putting Hex every turn made this not an easy fight, in my opinion. So if he has 210 health, soonest we could possibly kill him is like 5 turns. That's going to be rough. And his nether portal ult is 7 Hex in an area on top of already applying Hex. Yeesh. We honestly might be dead here. That's such a crazy buff they gave him. And then of course we have a Dark Ranger here as well. I might just murder the Dark Ranger, to be honest. I have 2 pulse grenades. I'm not really concerned about the Dark Ranger going stealth, because it's not really going to last that long. It's actually quite good, but I'm not going to be able to, like, do anything with it. crappy. Shame that he was shielded on that turn. Oh, this is interesting. Kinda weird that this guy gets offset. Pretty much perfect timing there. For a card in your draw pile. Don't need it. Let's go ahead and stack a little bit more damage out there. Go ahead and do that. I'm perfectly fine. Oh, what the what? I've been cheated. Probably shouldn't have done that specifically. Go ahead, get that burn out there. Go ahead and vanquish this man. Go ahead and start ulti stacking. Okay, turns out we're actually perfectly fine. God, what is going on with you guys? You're crazy. Oh, we got rid of the Bernie boy, actually. I wasn't paying attention. That's kind of oof. But we should be winning here. Because we're always winning. Yeah, she's gonna get her ultimate, we're fine. We'll scuff, but it'll work. That's good stuff. Thoram only took like a little bit of damage. Oh my good lord. Is Lady the hero? This deck could really rock Nightbringer. Deck could rock Nightbringer. We currently don't have any payouts for Blood Chalice. Otherwise, this would be a pretty good deck for Blood Chalice as well if we had payouts, like a couple of Ignore Pains. I know I skipped one, but otherwise we haven't really seen anything. If we had 2 Ravages and Ignore Pain, especially Ravages, with broadsword, yeah, blood chalice would be huge. Otherwise, Nightbringer, like I said, we pop a lot of hemo because we don't care. This could add up to quite a lot of damage. Especially, again, we get the crit on first melee, so might doesn't really help with that, but we also have vulnerable on the enemy, and might does help with that. I'm not really concerned about our damage, especially with Thoram pumping everybody up. I'm thinking it's fencing boots, because we're trying to get a lot of dashes in her deck so that she can utilize the Fury gain, and fencing boots also gives us some draw, which is going to synergize with actually drawing into whatever the heck Thoram's just pumping into there, right? So I'm thinking that that's our move here. Lacerate. Ooh, Lacerate Plus, though? So this is basically Lazar's ultimate, except we also get to do it whenever the hell we want. That's pretty interesting. Anticipate 1 for 3 resilience is kind of good. I just feel, I don't know. I don't know if it's good here. Like, if it was apply resilience, then I really would have wished that I would have went with the Nightbringer. I think we go last right here. Like I've said, we do not give a shit about hemo. All hemo, no problems. Okay, so that almost gets us to ulti plus. I'm debating if what we want to do is possibly to hit this. Could also be to hit this. Defense we're very good at. I'm not really concerned about it, especially because this is still, oh, threat back. And then of course we get access to this here for more threat, or not threat, more essence should we need it in the future. Also looking at this, having to actually fight elites, well, we just took on elites pretty convincingly in the last fight, right? So I'm not really concerned there. What, was that like a turn 4 kill? I probably should have taken a look at that. No, it must have been turn 5. Because, no, it would have been turn 4 because we got ultied. And then the next turn, it was a turn 5 kill. So, this might get a little bit yikes, depending on which enemies that we get, but as long as we throw Lazar, like, in front of everything and have him shield everybody, I think that this is actually quite possible. It gives us access to these, possibly. A campfire would be very nice right now, except if this is a fight, then we get kind of scuffed on that. But, I mean, that's, the essence of gambling is the die meaningless death, right? This is the safe route, I believe, because this is easy to get that. This could be spooky, and we may not even necessarily get anything out of it, or we could start heading for our camp, or our capital here, and actually have access to cheaper upgrades and heals. I guess another thing that we could do is instead of taking these elites right here, we could take these elites right here. Our damage is much better for them because we don't have to worry about losing all of our purple damage or running into a red enemy or a blue enemy. Well, there's a blue enemy here, but you understand what I'm saying. Then of course we could get this campfire, this oracle, start headed here. The only thing is that we haven't found our relic shop here, and we want this relic shop, but we're running out of time to look for it. And that's mainly why I would like to do this, because it would uncover another 3 tiles. But it's not like we can't do a combination of these things, right? Take these guys. We gain less, but it's a little bit safer. Double Brood Sentinel. Oh no. Oh man. That's spicy. Okay. That's kind of funny. Except for the fact that you're doing 22 AoE. That is not funny. But we got this going, so... First direct damage taken. Okay, this is how we're going to deal with this. I'm eating that. I don't know why I attacked you with that. Go ahead, shield him. Every little thing is going to be alright. That's unfortunate, but at least it's going to do 16, I guess. Also, oh wait, no, we got to make a decision here. We're going with the shields. Protect ourselves, and we want to reduce one of these as soon as possible because we're likely going to get ulted. And when we get ulted, we do not want to get ulted twice because that is going to be a crap ton of damage. Really is looking a little awkward. There. Shield thyself. Guess this is the one that we're killing. It's a little awkward. Alright, let's go. Pull ups, let's do this. Oh, this is actually quite good. We gotta make sure to bop these first. That'll do it. Okay. I don't think we're gonna get ulted by this, man. Probably should have used this. That's actually gonna matter. That's 3 health. We're getting that campfire out. What the heck is going on? You're popping off. Probably should have milked that one a bit. Gotten a little bit more health out of there. Last card in your hand always deals critical damage. Do we do that with Thoram? I guess we do. Do that quite a lot, actually. That's not too bad. Otherwise, Poison Shard, pretty good on Lady right now. And then, of course, Wood Chime, restore 4 health whenever you play your ultimate. Might actually be pretty good for Lady due to the fact that she's currently having a little bit of sustain problems. Get her healed up and then switch this over to Thoram. He's not using it as much, but we could still utilize it. Crazy I'm not taking Hunting Rifle, actually. That's a lot of damage. Actually, I think we do. We take Hunting Rifle. We'll get by without healing, hopefully. Arcane Spark isn't bad. Especially since she's like drawing a lot. This is basically free damage and this. And since she has a draw engine, now we actually want to do AP. Can we get rid of something for this? Guess we get rid of dual strikes. Will I do that though? Maybe this doesn't even go on her, this goes on Thoram, but he doesn't really do anything for hitting people. So like this is not giving him a lot of value. Does she go -1 cost? We're gonna try Big Deck Lady here. She's got the draw engine for it. Be a lot more consistent without it. Just to restore health, thank you. Hit up the Oracle. Is there anything we're not using in artifacts? No, these are all pretty damn good. Put this on you, right? Yep, we did. Is there a card we're not using? Not really. We're using everything that's pretty much been given to us besides our starter cards. I'm not wasting an Oracle on turning you into a green. Not doing either of these. Do we need something in particular to be upgraded? You give 2 ward? No, you just gain 4 damage. Not really feeling that. This could be pretty good. Storm some damage. These actually feel pretty good. Especially if they get put on Lazar. If they get put on Lazar, then he's doing 24 damage whenever he draws one of these. Otherwise, it's kind of hard for him to do that much damage. There might even be some vulnerable out there. Actually debating removing 2 Fang Strikes here. It would make it so that we're less likely to actually utilize his broadsword. But what it would do is not necessarily to bring down the hemorrhage, but to make it sure that he's like the defensive guy that's laying down vulnerable, right? Because then we have these 2 cards. We have dives, which are good for giving us like tons of life, repositioning, and purple damage. Then Fang Strike is like a melee. Because otherwise, the only real thing that we're getting out of it is the fact that we always have access to a Fang Strike, which actually, it's not bad. What? We're going to do 2 random upgrades. Hammer Strike and a Searing Blow. Why do you do this to me? If it was going to hit a Fang Strike, I would definitely feel keeping it, but it didn't, so we're going to follow through. Upgrade an ability of your choice. No, we're not going to do a Fang Strike. We're probably going to do this Vanquish, to be honest. Otherwise, like, you upgrade to 2 vulnerable, that's actually quite significant. I could see that being it. Arcane Spark just to get something out of it. Whatever. Allows us to push these elites that we need in order to get into our capital. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. I'm not very happy about this. Here we go. Take a crap ton of damage for it, though. Not very much we can do with that hand. Gonna have to do it this way. That's a rough choice. Go ahead and choose that one since you're gonna cleanse anyways. We're not gonna get much out of that. Lady getting weakened 3 is also gonna be quite shit, but we're fine. Illegal gameplay or just right? You guys decide. So besides turn 1, that was pretty convincing, I'd say. Go ahead, farm you up a bit. Not really much that we're going to get out of this. Go ahead, do that. First range card deals critical damage. Gain resilience whenever you play Arcana or Nature. Pretty good. Ornate Quiver is also pretty good. These are pretty insane, actually. First range card thing to note is Lazar's Dash is ranged for 7, so that's some pretty good purple damage. It's probably the best range that we currently have, besides actually Vanquish, except yeah, that's actually not very impressive now. So, yeah, that's about it. The only reason that we would take this is for that, and we might be able to get, like, you know, a legendary card that we're able to utilize with it, but for the most part, this team is mostly melee, and it's kind of scuffed. Ornate Quiver, same deal, actually. This would reduce the cost of the first dash or the first lunge that we play, pretty much, so even that's not really going to get a lot of value. So I guess Vanguard Helm, which we want to put on the lady, except we're kind of in this weird spot where she wants to try and crit with her ultimate. Maybe that's not the right move, and maybe the right move is to try and use Hunting Rifle on you. Because for the most part, you're actually the only person who's going to be using this, that is Lady, so... This is getting kind of crazy. Wait, Infernal Armor now combos extra Fury? Hold up. Stop. What? What? No. Stop. Stop. What have you done? Oh, it was between these two. God damn. Guess we're taking Infernal Armor. Jesus. And I like Infernal Armor obviously more than that. Gonna fit real good in our Blade Flurry deck. Hunting Rifle Vanguard. If I can figure out a way. The only way to do that would be to get you more combo cards so that you can afford to use Spine Blade instead of Lady. Which, honestly, hold up. I mean, most everything here is kind of important. Maybe Fire Breath, but you're kind of like using that with your current minions. Vanquish is an Echo, we really want that. We get rid of some of these Hammer Strikes, I suppose. And of course, the two combos that we have are Sprint, Valiant Strike, but Lady's blue, she really wants that ward. Infernal Armor, so we'd send over Sprint Infernal Armor. I can see Infernal Armor. Helped him get his ultimate faster. So then he's able to spam and give Fury to everybody else. He's now the one who's really ulti spamming, and Lady's just doing like a crap ton of damage. Then of course, Sprint just draws him more cards. I don't know. I really think that Lady wants that more than he does. Lady also really wants Twisted Staff right now. We would easily replace Spine Blade for that. Spine Blade isn't really giving us that much. Maybe we do get rid of this. Replace it with Hunting Rifle. I mean, we're getting quite a bit of value out of it. It's like it's damage. And the fact that it's doubling for whatever reason is that's 6 shield every time that we combo. 6 shield, 6 damage. Got lots of vulnerable out, so it's usually worth more than that. But we don't really want to be overwriting. Well, he's only got the 1 minion, right? Molten Construct. So that'd be kind of scuffed if we got rid of it, but it's also like whatever. But otherwise, Forge Spirits are also kind of whatever if we were to accidentally overwrite them. So I think we actually don't really care for Spine Blade. We go Hunting Rifle to give her some damage, like she doesn't have it already, right? And we keep going. Pretty good about this team, honestly. Brood Sentinel, don't know what I expected. You can handle this. First turn, this is actually perfect for... take 5 damage, though. Oh, you don't have to take 5 damage. We're good. What we're going to do is we're going to do this. That damage out there. Go ahead, help the man out. Don't have any block? What the hell, lady? That was a dash. So you have Volt Strike activated, and you can on guard. Actually, you know what? This. Oh, my lord. Nine. Okay. Bank error in my favor? Even against you? Not true. I will not believe you. You. They're just gonna murder me pretty much anyways. Omaiwa motion deru. Nani? Oh my good lord. Lanes also counts as dashing. Okay. Just keep it going then. Oof. No thorns. And let's just go ahead and pretty much all we can do really is heal. The fall, that is. Oh, so hilarious, actually. I guess he gets some infernal armor now, doesn't he? Alright, what time are we at? We're at about 56 minutes. Let's not leave on suspense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, heal here, heal this. Receive campsite. Good stuff. I will take those heals, actually. And what that's actually going to allow us to do... What was the other thing that we wanted to upgrade? I believe it was... the weapon crafting. Boosh. A little annoying, but it's not bad. We have access to remove your regen so that you can't heal. Some turns you're going to shield cleanse, not really a problem. You generally don't deal a lot of damage. I'm more worried about what you might possibly be with. Void Wings is kind of funny, and it gives us a campsite. I think that we can take this. A Brood Sentinel. My favorite. Oh, let's open this up. Vulnerable till the end of time. Start you up. We're actually going to move here. I now realize the issue. We're fine though. Lady can take that. Except if we dash into that lane, it's not going to work. We gotta do this. Vanguard. Once we kill these minions, this guy's going to be very easy. We should be killing those minions this turn. The Brood Sentinel, at least. You go ahead and take some poison. Let's eat that for his passive. Open with that. That solves a lot of problems. Yeah, we're going to stabilize very well here. That's kind of a problem. One last. Look at us go. Good stuff. This is actually exactly what we wanted. Full block, almost dead. Don't be full health. A little bit of ordering there. We'll be AO good though. Yeah, this is pretty convincing. Void Wings broke him again. Okay, I think you're dead this turn. That's spent. Fury. And one of your draws. Pretty sure. Even though you couldn't draw. Something to note. Yeah, that arcane power definitely is chunkin'. Lady already has a thing, so we won't go with that. Forge Hammer actually works precisely with everything that we're doing, and I also wanted to know, shuffle one extra card whenever you shuffle cards into an ally's draw pile. Does that work for the resolve? Because if so, this is insanely powerful. getting 2 resolves in an ally's discard is basically 2 fury just waiting to happen. The 4 burn whenever we do whatever isn't really... eh? Flex. I see it's a little bit more chunky now. Another counter attack. The one thing that I have noticed, did this whole debacle about making sure that she had hunting rifles so that she could possibly crit with her Blade Flurry. Well, it doesn't happen because we draw too much. So until we get Twisted Staff, this hunting rifle isn't really helpful, and this Spine Blade will be more helpful. Menacing Gaze. I thought this did... Am I thinking of something else that does damage? I thought that this did damage at some point. Retain Apply 3 weak. It's usable, but we're not looking for usable at this point in the game. We're looking to snap somebody in half, and counterattack, obviously great damage. Flex might honestly be what we're going for too, though. Because Lady does have... If our payout that we're looking for is Lady using Blade Storm, being able to put 7 might on her, technically 8, I know. Plus, the idea of Lady flexing. It's hilarious. Use more cards played. Restore 10 health to all my heroes. We're pretty much fully healed. Give me my loot cache. Oh no! We're broken! Runic Safeguard is something for Lazar. Maybe Lazar just crits a lot and we take Anadorian Bow. So, his first melee card is going to crit. His first dash is going to crit. Then, as long as we arrange his hand appropriately, when he finishes his turn, we give him Hunting Rifle, that card crits as well. Except that's 3 artifacts, and that would mean that we get rid of Claw Shoulders. So then the question is him critting on his last card as important as critting on the first ranged card? Currently, I would say no. Runic Safeguard might occur. This actually might help Thoram quite a bit. I could see this. Yeah. Actually, one thing that I've never tested that I really should. First range card. Technically, is this... It's range ally. It's range ally. Let's see if this works. Because if so, that's huge. Alright. Bonus footage, let's do it. Unlock an Oracle, but Widowmaker gets Apex. The 6 poison is honestly a real freaking problem. Apex Predator isn't necessarily bad though, except for currently they're going to be targeting Thoram, and we can't really have that. Thoram's shit at, like, defending himself. The Oracle really worth it? I don't think so, actually. I really don't think so. We'll just fight her plane. Yeah, we can do this. Should be able to face race this motherfucker. Poison's a problem, but we push a lot of fucking damage right now. It is insane. I actually want you to guard yourself. That did not reduce it, but Vanquish we can save on. So this is actually not that bad. I don't want you to take poison, though. Oh, you're gonna shield? Take one poison. I don't like it, but how we're gonna have to do it. I should have done that first, you idiot. You know what? What I'm thinking. Got to move hunting rifle over, by the way, in case you guys didn't see. That. My phone is going off. What the heck? Well, apparently wants to talk to me. That's an odd feeling. Guess we're gonna do this, get that. We finally did the thing I said that we never do. Because we didn't draw. For the record, the Royal Breastplate would have popped off on Lady. Okay, Lazar just has to make his way over here to shield you. He can also tank that easily. How are we going to make it so that Lady doesn't die here, though? Oof, there we go. Boop, boop. That's a lot of crit. We're gonna heal after this. Do we push this? Definitely push this. We could also be smart and play this safe. What's the fun of that? Should have done this. I'm an idiot, but wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Then let's just get some block out there. That's most of that. Look at that. It's pretty good. This fight's over. The only person who's injured is Lazar, really. So, you know. I mean, when you're an HP battery, this shit happens. You don't necessarily want to do that. Let's just dash for the lady. Dash for the lady. Stuff, I guess. Call the mountain. Oh, we could have done a lot more than that, actually. Now, this is what I'm looking for, Crimson Talisman. We want Lazar to be able to be an HP battery. And we've already got a huge hemo in this deck. We're going into Anador, where we probably are going to fight the boss because she's going to be like hella easy for us. But someone's going to have to tank all of that poison. Especially if we keep running into these enemies that poison on first hit. Lazar would love to do that. But even him, if you start stacking up all that poison, again, it's blocked at And he doesn't actually block that well right now. He just applies vulnerable for Lady, and then he, like, you know, heals a lot of fucking health. So, Crimson Talisman is, again, cleanse on a character or class that normally doesn't get cleanse. And as a tank, oof. It's really what we need right now, because as you saw with the first elite that we were facing, dealing with DOTs is kind of our weakness right now, because we've got some good block, but we don't have great block, especially AoE block. The Lady doesn't care because she just gets, like, you know, resilience, which is pretty much cheating in that regard. But I'm very happy to see Crimson Talisman here. Vampiric Bite, should we see if this is scuffed? I think we see if this is scuffed. Otherwise, Battlehorn, you're not our tank. This would be a terrible idea. It would be terrible. I like Vampiric Bite, though. It's going to give him some sustain that he is suffering a little bit on because he doesn't have access to Exsanguinate. But, I mean, Lazar with Exsanguinate is built different. Yeah, this is looking good. So then the question is we can only obviously take a look at Vampiric Bite. But the bug that we're talking about specifically is when you use Vampiric Bite on an enemy, apparently it's healing the enemy, or as according to the last patch. So, we're going to find out. Otherwise, it's a great card. So if it is bugged, that's quite misfortunate. He didn't even give Lady Flex. What is wrong with me? Okay, everything's fixed. Don't worry, people. Again, Hunting Rifle only popped off due to the fact that we didn't actually have draw. But I think she does go into Spine Blade. And you are likely to use this. Did you not get... Oh, we took Ornate Quiver because we wanted to see if that worked on your buffs, and it didn't. Why do you have this many? Explain yourself. Oh, because we need that many. I'm an idiot. Someone in the comments. I've been saying this for years. Okay, we're going to gain... I want to test that bug. So we're going to get even more bonus footage. Hooray for YouTube. And this is not going to cost us a threat. And the poison, again, really doesn't mind us that much. Especially because it's normal enemies. So we just need to first draw it. Well, there it is. You're gonna probably have to block yourself because this is looking a little bit scuffed. Guess pop this man. I really should have put you over here. I don't even know what I was thinking. Okay, we can get you over there. Okay. Time for science. Got a crit too. Oh my god. That's so good. Oh, it's dealing damage now. Or at least Vampiric Bite Plus is dealing damage. It could be the echoed version. It's scuffed too, but that'd be hard to see. We'll have to see if we can actually get into that. But I think we're going to kill this fight in like 2 to 3 turns. Ain't going to see shit. Look at that. Ooh. That chungus damage. Actually, this. But we don't have a red card to activate. No. Wait, you were correct. Why didn't you double? It's so weird. Oh. Damn. What is going on? Looks good to me. Need to spend that AP. Although she has 5, we probably should just spend it anyways. There's so many visual bugs happening. Ravage. Okay. So we were kind of just talking about how like Ravage is pretty, would be pretty good. It's good damage. It's also melee. So we can get up to 2 hemorrhage, which therefore would do 16 crit, 32 damage, not counting vulnerable. And it's very likely for us to have vulnerable because this retains. So we can keep it, hold it to the turn that we're actually going to like utilize this. It's pretty damn good. We'll take it. It's also like bread and butter Lazar. You definitely want it. Now I'm almost debating. I think we do want AP on Lazar. Because it's got hunting rifle now. It would actually make it so that he's likely to pop that off. Could sell. Sell the spine blade or hunting rifle. We kind of determined that we kind of can't play it, but now that we have Lazar where he's at, I think he might be able to. Actually, would he? Almost no. I think hunting rifle's the worst fucking thing here. Hunting rifle. Ooh, go. Which one, though? You now have a lot of void cards. Because we're about to put Ravage in our deck, too. Our ulti isn't void, though. So, Dive, Vampiric Bite, Ravage. Don't really care about stacking poison, especially here, right? Boss is going to be resistant most of the time. We don't really have any outs for it, but if we get crit on poison, we're going to feel like shit that we didn't take it. Otherwise, being able to crit on our dashes that we're likely to keep in our deck because they're very good for our current engine. That's 7 damage versus the possibility of opening a crit engine. Prospective, but we're still getting something out of this. Take this. Put it on you. Okay. A light shrine, those are very damn good. If this is shock, good game. Ooh. I would actually love to see shock or protection. Not really for, you know, obviously the fact that Lady's just going to take it to the moon. I want to see the interaction, if there is any, of course, between Forge Hammer and Shrine cards. Because, technically speaking, you would say, okay, there's no way, right? Like, you're not playing a card that is shuffling something into somebody's deck, so of course you wouldn't add an extra Shrine card. But when you're trying to think like QA, right? Or like trying to science out, find out all these things, you got to think of syntaxes where something shouldn't work, but you could kind of see it working. Because there's a number of things in this game where when you place a potion, or when you play a potion, it acts as a card. Especially if it's being played in your lane, it counts as you. When elusives die or flee in your lane, it counts as a kill. There's a ton of like little quirky like loose ends in the game, and technically putting a shrine card into your own deck at the start of the game, I could see that falling under here, and I really want to see how that works. Unfortunately, you've run out of YouTube bonus time, and that's going to have to be for next time. Thankfully, though, I shouldn't die doing this, right? you would hope not, but maybe. So I should be able to clear this out, get this shrine, and then take a look at that. Otherwise, let's start looking at... We're going to want more... This team's popping off. Let me just say that. This team's popping off. So if we're doing good, we want to kill elites and we want to kill shards. So how are we going to get about that? This one is 3 away. This one is 3 away. This one's 3 away, but also goes straight into another one. So that might be where we're going. I'll have to review what these enemies look like in the beta, as far as like if we can handle that or not, because we are going into enemies that are resistant to us when we go there. So it might be a little bit difficult. Anyways, I did a whole lot of talking in the beginning of the video, did like no talking during the video, and then did a lot of talking at the end of the video. So I still hope that that was still entertaining for you. Let me know if it wasn't, anything that you thought was, you know, off or whatever. All that feedback, I want to see it down in the comments below. If you have it, any questions, concerns, comments, misplay alerts, be sure to leave that down there. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around.